Okay, but should we talk about Vladimir and his recent? That's the question.
I
Do
have
people
not
want to hear us talk about cheating again?
absolutely. Welcome back, everybody, to another C Squared podcast episode. We are just finishing with the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz and about to start the Sinquefield Cup. Fabi, a great event for you. You've won it. Came from behind in the Blitz portion. It was quite an incredible display of your improving Rapid and Blitz skills.
Are you trolling me or something? I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Look, I'm
No,
just trying to be a good Redditor.
Yes, yes. No, it was a good performance, I guess, overall, but a little bit lucky. I didn't really do anything spectacular, just things worked out. And I guess that's sometimes how it works. Like, this is what I once had this discussion on Twitter, like, what's luck in chess? I mean, people who mostly don't play chess, I think, on Twitter, actually a lot of people who I know don't play chess because they were like, I'm not a chess player, but I know that chess is purely a skill-based game. So of course chess is a skill-based game, but that doesn't mean that there's elements of luck involved in performing well in chess.
Yeah, especially when
And
it comes to shorter time controls, right?
I think in general, I can give many examples. The thing is, when I say luck, I don't mean that people are lucky or unlucky. It's just that luck comes and goes. But certainly in one game or in one tournament, there are elements of luck. And one element of luck could be that your opponents play badly, not against you, but in general, that they're just not running away with it. If one guy is winning all their games, then you obviously have to play better to be able to win a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say Magnus in
Poland and Croatia.
Zagreb. Yeah, Zagreb. He won 9 out of 9. So let's assume that you don't lose to him. So you draw. So he scores 8.5 out of 9. That means that you have to win all your games to keep up with him. Of course, there's some luck in that you don't want your competitors to win all their games, right? You can't control their results except against you. Other elements of luck are, we were talking about the Sinquefield Cup tournament, right? We did the video series.
Yep.
When you get your preparation every game, it's an element of luck. This is simply undeniable that it's better to get your preparation than not, and you can't control what openings your opponents play. So this is all I mean by luck in chess. For me, luck in this tournament was that in a situation where my opponent had to win and was winning, he made a very trivial blunder in a winning position, and I won the tournament directly as a consequence of that.
Which one was that? Which game are you talking about?
I don't know, the last game, because of course, previous games you can debate lucky, unlucky, but the last game is the one which there's nothing after that. So
the last game against MVL, right?
Yeah. If he had won, that's it. He wins the tournament, I get second. I draw or I win the tournament, and he gets either second, or if he loses, then he gets lower than second.
And with only a draw needed, you actually played quite an aggressive line. This D5 idea, A4, and where did you feel like you were lost in this one?
Well, I was lost before he played Rook E2. I had blundered my...
way.
I had already gotten outplayed.
Yes.
I was down a pawn in a drawn ending. We both missed some simple tactics, like Rook to A3 after Bishop E3, a very simple tactic. We were both down to a few seconds, so it's, of course, a little bit of randomness. Once you're down to seconds, you can't survey the whole board, so you just kind of play on instinct and try not to flag. So we were both blundering, but if he had moved his rook anywhere besides E2, he keeps his rook, he doesn't lose it, and objectively he's winning. Now his chances to win are probably 90 to 95% under those circumstances, but it's a pretty serious chance. I mean, I wouldn't give myself more than a 5 to 10% chance of holding that position.
Yeah, that Rook E2 was absolutely crazy. I mean, I would assume he was probably Rook to E4 is the best, just because King D5, you have Rook D4.
It's all the same. Rook F3, Rook H3, Rook E4, yeah.
Yep. Basically just forcing the king to go to D3. What was his reaction? At that point, I was driving. I was coming to St. Louis. I don't remember exactly why, I think for the closing dinner. But what was his reaction when he played Rookie 2? What was your reaction as well when he played Rookie 2?
Okay, so what happened was he picked up the rook, placed it on e2, and dropped it for about half a second.
Yes.
And barely noticeably, I didn't even notice it. He picks it back up, and then he pauses for a little bit. I didn't know that he had dropped it. He wasn't 100% sure, but he felt that he dropped it. So since once you drop a piece, you must place it there, he felt that he had dropped it, and he placed it there and accepted that he was not winning this game anymore. And then out of curiosity, the video replay was checked after, and he did indeed drop the piece for the slightest of moments, realizing his mistake after, but it was too late. And it was very sportsmanlike of him, of course, to not try to, pretend that he had never released the piece. I'm not sure I would have caught it. And if I hadn't, I don't think I would have caught it. The game would have continued, and I'm not sure what happens after that. Because then we get into some, like, let's say I lose, and then someone tells me, oh, he actually dropped the piece, and then we get into this gray area in which the arbiters get involved, and I'm not sure what happens. But...
Do you appeal at that point? Do you file an appeal?
Well, the thing is, so I spoke to Chris Bird, the arbiter, and he said that he noticed it. So I'm not sure if he's obliged to step in or not. But if he steps in, we don't have this issue. If he doesn't step in, then I believe the result would probably stand as a loss for me.
Got it. But
okay.
I guess the first question is, if he doesn't play rook to e2, let's say, okay, he dropped it, but you did mention that you didn't notice it, or at least it wasn't clear to your mind, and obviously in the heat of the battle, you have 4 seconds, he has 7 seconds. He plays something else. He plays rook f3 or rook h3, whatever. Do you stop the clock at that point? What do you feel your instinct would have been? Would you have stopped the clock, or would you just continue the game?
I don't think I noticed it, so I don't think I would. If I had stopped the clock, then of course we would check the video replay, and the move would stand. Because it's pretty clear. I even was sent a photo of it after, just out of interest, by the photographer. And it's very clear. His hand is no longer on the piece. But in the heat of the moment, you kind of don't see these things so clearly. Maybe you see it from the side, but like when you're kind of concentrated on the game, you don't see it so clearly.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I'm not sure what would have happened. But luckily, I didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And he was, Maxime is a very fair player, I have to say. He's, in all senses, I think, a very fair player. So he didn't even try to, even though he wasn't 100% sure that he had released the piece, but he didn't try to play on.
Yeah.
Because, of course, when he plays Rookie 2, he understands the result is over. I'm not losing this position. I can't.
Yeah.
So he accepted that it was going to be a draw with that move.
And just to make it very clear to everybody, with a win, he would have, in fact, won the tournament. He would have leapfrogged you in the standings and win the tournament. With a draw, in fact, you took clear first. A lot of players, in fact, only 1 point behind you. Half a point in, if you count the rapid as 1 point, half a point, but still 1 point in the standings. Le Quang, Jan, and MVL in sharing second, third, and fourth place. So very highly contested, I have to say, tournament. I haven't seen such a highly contested tournament with so many players having chances going into the final round in a long time, especially in Rapid and Blitz. Generally,
not
somebody's running away.
Nobody had chance for first going into the final round besides the two of us.
Except MVL, yeah.
But going into the final day, it looked like Maxime was a 90% favorite, with Ali Reza, Nepo, and myself having some share of the remaining chances.
I'm trying to remember. Was he 2 points ahead?
2 points. And Maxime is also a very good blitz player, so of course you would expect that a 2 point gap, very hard. And I wouldn't have guessed I would be the one to bridge this gap, because normally I would think that the guys who can really run away with blitz games, probably like Ali Reza is one of the only ones, because he has demonstrated an ability to do so. And I can play decently, but not often. I can think of one occasion where I ran away with, I scored 8.5 out of 9 in one blitz day in the Grand Chess Tour. But this is a rare occurrence for me. I usually perform fine, but nothing out of this world. Not Ali Reza, or sometimes well, obviously Magnus. We understand he won 9 games in a row in one of these events. Nakamura, of course, sometimes also runs away with things, but probably if you ask people, I wouldn't be among the players that you would expect. And I didn't run away with it. It's just that Maxime had a bad day, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just
Mm-hmm.
-2. He didn't play well.
Yeah, -2 for Maxime. And we know how good of a Blitz player, in fact, in most of these competitions, in most of these Rapid and Blitz events, he's always on the top, fighting for top positions. Definitely, very rarely do we see him with a minus score, even in,
Well, +5 the previous day.
Right, +5. Ridiculous.
+5 is an amazing score, of course. I think a good day is a very good day is +4. +5 is already
+3 is a
field.
good day.
Very, very.
Yeah, +5 is just ridiculous.
My best was 8.5 out of 9 in one of these days, which maybe it was 8 out of 9, but in Poland, Warsaw, 2022.
I remember that.
And I got 4th place. That's the thing. I scored +10. I got 4th place. What is this? This is not fair.
Yeah. Anyway, great result for you. In fact, with this result, not only that you're winning the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz, but you're also getting a lot of points towards the Grand Chess Tour standings, final standings. And it does seem highly likely right now that you're probably going to win the Grand Chess Tour. Obviously, there's still a slight possibility that you won't, but your chances are looking pretty good.
Well, they've calculated it. It's 99.4% chance.
Yeah. And
if you look at the ratings.
I think Ali Reza has 0.4%, and I think MVL has 0.2% or something like that.
Yeah, everyone else is mathematically out of it, I believe.
Yeah. So, don't fuck it up, I guess. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know how that happens.
No, okay. But yes, it's a normal tournament. We'll try not to think about the standings and just play.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's a good situation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And of course, we're talking about the Sinquefield Cup. Sinquefield Cup coming up. It's actually starting tomorrow. You've had a couple of days rest in between the tournaments. What did you do to rest? What did you do to kind of recover? Did you feel tired at the end of the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz, or did that adrenaline and good feeling about winning the tournament carry over?
Yeah, I was certainly a bit tired, but I feel okay now. It's it's a little bit of a adjustment to go to classical chess from Rapid or Blitz, certainly from Blitz. So now we have a totally different type of tournament. Whatever happened in the last tournament is kind of irrelevant, and also we have new players, right?
Yep.
Compared to the last tournament, we have Rapport coming in, Duda coming in, Lanier, and Levon.
Yep.
Those are 4 players who were not playing the Rapid and Blitz. And the players who are continuing to play, obviously I am, and Jan, Nepomniachtchi, Ali Reza, Maxime, and Anish.
Yep.
Am I forgetting someone?
Nope. That's it.
Anyway.
Jan, Ali Reza, Fabiano, Anish, Levon, Wesley, Maxime, Jan Krzysztof Duda, Richie, and Lanier. That's the field. Lanier Dominguez, that's the field for the Sinquefield Cup. One asterisk attached to Richie's name is that he's actually flying in, I think, tomorrow. So tomorrow the tournament starts. Today is the opening ceremony, opening dinner, however you want to call it. But Richie's in Europe. Richie's playing at the European Team Championship. He just finished with Team Romania. And I think today was the last round. I'm not 100% sure when his flight is, but he's not playing the first round at the same time as everybody else.
He didn't play today.
He did not play today.
Didn't play, so
okay, because Romania was doing really poorly. Yes.
That could be that he, let's say, left yesterday. He gains time because he's going back, right? So he gains time in his travel. And yeah, he could, for all I know, he's already here. I mean, I can't tell you for sure. I haven't seen him, but for all I know, he's already here.
Initially, the discussions were that he's not playing the first round. I think it was, who was it? Him against Jan? Was that?
He's playing Jan because it's a direct copy with colors reversed of the Bucharest Grand Chess Tour event. So I can already tell you the pairings. At least I know my own. I play Lenier. Lenier is replacing Dayak
Okay.
as a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ding was supposed to play, but he withdrew, so he's replaced by Levon Aronian. And that means that Ding played Maxime, so Levon plays Maxime. Then Richie and Jan played in the first round. We remember that as sort of like a funny pairing because Richie was the second during the match.
Yes.
Ding versus Nepo.
Yes.
So they play. And then the other pairings must be Firouzja was playing... Anish was playing Duda, which means that Firouzja must have been playing...
MVL?
Yes. Yes, it must be Firouzja Max. No, wait.
Firouzja Wesley?
Wait. I know Anish played Duda. Firouzja Wesley? Didn't I say Maxime plays someone?
You might have.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not good at this, but people are playing some other people. That's it.
Right. So you're playing Lenier. Okay, that's good. Good to know. But again, the initial discussion was that Jan and Richie are in fact going to play during the rest day, which is a bit strange, but we'll see if that actually materializes. At the same time, I have to say, I mean, Richie coming from a very difficult competition, traveling, jet lagged, and then maybe playing tomorrow. If he plays tomorrow, that's going to be a tour de force. If I would be in Richie's shoes, I would be like, yeah, let's just play during the rest day. Give me one more rest. Let me accommodate with...
I mean, is that really so much fun?
What? To play during the rest day?
Richie is playing with the white pieces. I mean,
maybe
you can also try to like play safe.
He can kill the game, yeah, force draw or something.
Yeah,
like
you can probably shut the game down more or less in a classical game with the white pieces. So
yeah,
I would prefer to do that and have a bit of a rest during the tournament, not play 9 games in a row.
You might be right.
Personally, but yeah, everyone is different.
You might be right about that. Yeah, you might be right about that. Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see whether he actually, by not playing today for Romania, took an early flight and will show up tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see. So
big one.
In terms of the European Championship, I'll tell you.
Let's talk about that, sure.
Germany won their match today. They were leading with Serbia, but Serbia also won their match today. Which means it comes down to tie breaks. So who will be European champions? Well, either Germany or Serbia. That is guaranteed. But which one? I don't know.
Let's see.
We'll see.
The chess results get updated. I'm going to check it right now. And in the women's section, by the way, some crazy stuff just happened. First of all, Bulgaria. Congratulations to my student, Bela Krasteva, who she did lose today. But her team, Bulgaria, won their match against Georgia. They were completely losing.
So wait, that means they win, right?
They win, yes.
Bulgaria wins, yeah?
Bulgaria wins.
So they're European champions.
Yes. They haven't played in a very long time in the European Team Championships because their federation was their federation was complete mess. So they were not sending.
Could Azerbaijan? No, wait. Azerbaijan could catch them, no?
No. They won their match. Bulgaria won their match.
But they weren't playing Azerbaijan. Bulgaria was playing.
But Bulgaria was ahead.
Georgia.
Bulgaria was ahead on the scorecards.
No.
Yes, they were half a point ahead. Team points.
Oh, you're right. They were. Yeah. You're right. Okay, so that's done. So
that's done. Yeah, they won for sure. They won for sure.
So the big question is, I don't think it's updated yet. Serbia and Germany,
I checked it.
Separated by 1 tiebreak point. I mean, good luck figuring that out.
Yeah. We're not going to find out before this podcast is over. But anyway, Germany, obviously, amazing tournament for them. And, you know, their leader right now, it's shaping up and it's obvious that Vincent Keimer is their leader for the future, current future leader of the team. So they have a good team and they're showing good chess for sure.
Quite a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, Keimer is 2740 now.
He's really
2740, right? Or more. 2737.9. So that's where he was very lucky yesterday against Etienne. Etienne was winning and then chose to simplify to a perpetual. Very weird decision, I have to say. So, okay. Keimer's 2739. Other guys are pretty decent. I mean, they're pretty good, but they're not, obviously not as strong as him. But yeah, Keimer is definitely very promising. 19, 27, 40, more or less same level of current level as Pragg and Noterbeck and so on, right?
Yep. Yep.
Gukesh.
The new generation is here. Obviously, the new generation. We've been talking about generations and young, promising players. The new generation is definitely here. Keimer still to have a bad event, which is quite, it shows class on some degree, right? Because he's just able to not have bad events, not have bad streaks. At some point, he's going to come, but for the moment, he's been very stable. So his ascent has been very smooth, I would say. But yes.
Yeah, but you know how these things go.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit up and down. Life is not always smooth. But he is very good. Yeah, for sure.
Life is
I don't mean that as a negative thing. It's just you're never going to like, okay, maybe you will. I can't say 100%, but it's very unlikely you're just going to go up and never have setbacks.
Well, you went to 2800 pretty quickly. Did you have any setbacks?
No, I had many setbacks.
Once you passed 2700, did you go back to under 2700?
No, never. No, I stayed around low 2700s, but once I made the breakthrough, I stayed there forever. I never left. So once I got to 27, once I got to top 10, I stayed in top 10 with like 2 brief moments of. One was last year, actually. But it was quite brief, so hopefully that stays.
Sinquefield Cup. Let's chat about that for just a second. Expectations, or you're not going in this one with any expectations. Calculations for the candidates as well. Obviously, we've discussed this in previous episodes. It's Wesley and Firuza separated by a bit more than 10 points, 10.8 points right now. And Anish, in fact, is also closely behind, but he might get the Grand Prix, the points.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Anish might get the Grand Prix.
Yeah, the circuit,
points,
right?
The circuit. Mm-hmm. Yes, the circuit. And then Wesley and Firuza are fighting, I guess, for the rating spot right now.
No, but also Wesley's fighting for a circuit, so it's an interesting race.
How are his chances in the circuit?
Wesley's, not so great.
Yeah,
let's say he has to do well here, and Anish has to not do well.
Yeah,
so if Anish gets like 50%, and Wesley gets +1 or +2, it's a question. That's the question. If Anish gets a minus and Wesley gets +1, then possibly he can. Okay, so his lowest is 1359.
Yes.
He is 0.16, 0.31, 0.47, 5.47 points away.
Okay.
It's kind of random, so we don't know exactly. We can't calculate it exactly because it's all these decimals and stuff. But he's 5.47 points away. What he actually gets, if he improves 13.59. If he gets +2 and Anish gets 50% or -1, it's definitely a shot that he passes him.
Check this one out, though. There's another tournament that just popped up in the last few days, maybe a week. The London Chess Classic is back, and that gives Gukesh another shot at the Grand Prix points as well. Did you see the lineup?
Yeah, I saw most of the players. I didn't see all of them.
Gukesh, Vityukov, Tabata Bey, or Tabata Boy, Mickey Adams, Volokitin, Hans will be back as well, Bartel, Moussard, McShane, and Royal. Okay, this is actually very funny because Royal is like 220 rating points behind the closest, which is Luke McShane. At least to the ratings in November, the ones that are posted. So it's a very funny looking lineup.
Yeah, okay. So one more thing I want to say. Shreyas's rating does not calculate towards the average rating for the FIDE circuit. Because I believe it's only the top 8. that I
Okay.
calculated.
Okay.
So he and Luke, who's 26-26, will be removed from the average rating. So the highest is Gukesh.
Yes.
Actually, maybe not officially. Maybe Vidugo is the highest now, right? Maybe.
Probably in December 1st he will be. Yes.
But anyway, so Gukesh, Vidugo, Hans 26, like 60, 70.
Mm-hmm.
Many guys are around. Amin is probably around 2,700.
Mm-hmm. He gains
So,
some.
okay. I think, or if he wins this, then he'll probably get over 20, but I'm not sure if much over 20. Let me see if, like, if there's some comparable classical event and see how many points that got.
So the rating average is somewhere around 2678 right now with the current ratings. I've just done the quick math. Let's
Okay, so
say
wait,
that
what would be
drops a
comparable to
little
that?
bit.
What would be a comparable tournament? Like Dusseldorf tournament, right? The WR Masters was probably stronger than that.
Stronger, for
So
sure.
you can't use that to compare.
No.
Doha could be similar.
Yes, maybe.
Jermuk could be similar. Sam Sevian got 15.63 for winning that. Maybe that's a bit weaker.
Okay. Okay.
Sharjah?
So let's say he's gonna get how many points? 17 points. Let's put it at 17.
The thing is, if he gets 17, he barely improves his score because he gets one extra point. He does not catch Anish. He needs to get 5 more points to catch Anish, more or less. A bit less than 5.
Yeah.
So he needs to get 20 points plus. He needs to get a 20 to 21 point. And that's if Anish does not improve. Oh, no, sorry. His lowest is not the World Cup. No, his lowest is 12.22. So he needs to get 17 point something.
So it's probably around there. I mean, the organizers must have known that he needs a certain average or a certain
why would they care
score?
about that? No, I'm just why would they care?
Well, I guess there's some talks that this is an event specially created for Gukesh. I don't know if that's the case, but
No, come on.
you don't think
would
that's
it
the
be?
case, yeah?
It's an event held in London. The London Classic has existed for many years in some form or another.
They just got back this year.
It's a mix of why would they do that? Like, I don't know. Does he have some ties to London Classic? Like, not that I know of, right?
I think it's also a way to try to incentivize him to play in it, to accept the invitation.
Definitely. Like, they could have thought it's an interesting time to get a tournament because they can probably without like a huge budget get a very strong tournament together.
Yeah. No, that's
usually,
what I'm saying. I mean, I think they worked it around so that they can incentivize him to play or to accept the invitation, if that makes sense.
But they wouldn't be reliant on him. Like,
no, of course.
If they wanted to, he's a 27-20 player. Of course, he's definitely a very attractive player to have because he's so young. But like, they could definitely have gotten other 27-20 players because it's not like invitations are ripe. You know, it's not like there's like if they ask Sindarov or I don't know,
but
they can definitely get some players of that rating.
Yes, but comparable in terms of hype, in terms of eyes that he's bringing to the tournament, I think for the rating that he got or around that rating area, I think he's pretty much the top prospect. Just for the simple fact that he's bringing a lot of hype, he's bringing a lot of viewers. Everybody is excited to see him play.
No, the thing is that also, besides that, I do agree he's an exciting player. But besides that, if Anish doesn't have like a tremendous tournament in Sinquefield, let's say he stays the same, 84.31 points, then the tournament gets a lot of renewed interest because it's so relevant for the candidates. So maybe they don't even care like if Gukesh makes it or not, but he adds an element of interest from that other point of view.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which I'm like, I would follow it with much greater interest just because of that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, completely agree with you. Yeah. No,
and then Wesley
very exciting one.
So we'll see. It's still up in the air, but Anish is somewhat of a favorite. I don't know what odds he'll have, but he definitely has some odds.
I'm very excited about the Sinquefield Cup. It's going to be an exciting one. All right. We now have a not yet sponsored section of the podcast. I think we just thought about it before the podcast started being recorded. You came up with this idea. We're going to read some Reddit comments or Reddit posts, and we're going to analyze them. I think people
I
are
see nothing
mostly
interesting recently. Okay, here's one that's interesting.
All right, tell me.
I haven't
what
even
do you
read
have?
through this.
What do you have?
So the reason it's interesting, Pragg destroys Nihal in over-the-board Blitz.
Okay.
So now there's going to be, okay, to give some context, Pragnanta beat Nihal 7.5, 2.5
Yes.
in a 10-game over-the-board Blitz match in India, I guess.
Yes. It was in India. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was in Kerala.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called the Che International? Like, why would they name it after Che Guevara?
That's actually a very good.
So wait, it consists of junior tournaments, matches with Nihal, Pragg, Narinan, and Cuban players.
Mm-hmm.
And then there will be a Kerala versus Cuba team event. Okay, this is random. A little bit random.
Okay.
So then people discuss.
All right.
I don't know why this would be an interesting thread, but maybe. What do people say?
We're looking for Nihal is washed type of comments, because that's what we usually get.
Yeah, but okay.
When somebody loses in chess in general, Reddit is going to be like, oh yeah, Magnus is washed, Fabi is washed.
No, but okay, 10 Blitz games, like, who cares? To be honest, I've lost interest already.
Okay. Not very
No,
interesting.
it's like, it's an interesting, it shows how strong Pragg is, of course, because Nihal's very good, but from an interest point of view, I don't really see the interest.
Yes.
Like, it's a short Blitz match. For these Blitz matches, they should make them longer. They should make them like, I don't know.
Okay, I have
20
one.
games.
I have one
18
for you.
games, yeah.
I have one for you.
Okay, but should we talk about Vladimir and his recent? That's the question. People want to hear us talk about cheating again.
Absolutely, but I have not watched it. Have you watched it?
I'm afraid not.
That's the problem. I did not watch it. It's a long video. It's an hour and 20 minutes, I think. I did see some people analyze it, but I have not watched it. What caught my eye, though, was that Levon reacted to it, and he sort of endorsed this idea that there might be a lot of cheating in chess. So that could be interesting.
He ignores? What do you mean ignores?
No, endorsed.
Oh, endorsed.
Yes.
Okay, but I mean, it's obvious there's a lot of cheating in online chess. Like, what are we kidding? No.
Well, there's a lot of commenters.
Okay, no, it's funny because they're like, mocking Kramnik because he's not a mathematician, or me because I'm like 50%. They're like,
right.
You don't know anything about numbers and you're delusional. But these guys also don't know anything about this, no? I mean, like, why would they? It's just weird to me that someone with at least some, like, I'm not a mathematician, but at least I know about chess, right? And then there's someone who knows neither about mathematics nor chess. That's like, well, you don't know about mathematics, but if you don't know about either one, then why are you weighing in on this yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's, but okay, I agree. You can't make sweeping conclusions based on, vibes or whatever, like your general. I can make my own personal opinion. I can form that based on some feeling I get. But of course, I'm not going to say, ban all people because I feel like there's cheating. But the fact that every chess player feels like there's a significant cheating problem, or at least everyone that I've spoken to, shows that there probably is something. I mean, is a mass delusion event? Like, probably not, right?
Probably not.
That's my feeling.
Mass psychosis.
Like, have all chess players gone off the deep end? Yeah, maybe we're all paranoid, but I don't think so. I do think that there is a serious online cheating, and what Danny said, He said 3% is their estimate. Now, I respect Danny's opinion. I think that he actually knows quite a lot about this, and I believe, probably knows more about me. Sorry, more than me about this. So, like, I can't say that I'm more of an expert than him, but I think I'm maybe a little bit more, like, I don't have as much stake in it because I'm kind of distanced. Like, if I want to not play Title Tuesday or something, I can stay away from it, and it's not going to affect me so much. So I feel like I can, even though maybe I have less data on hand, I do have perhaps a clearer picture. So his 3%, I don't feel like it's correct. Now, my 50%, that was a bit, I kind of threw that out there. I will agree.
You were
like,
unhinged. As some Redditors called you.
It's just
you
a general
unhinged.
thing. It's like when I say 50%, it could be 40%, it could be 60%. I don't really know. I'm just kind of giving you a broad strokes that I think it's very serious. 50% is just to say that I think that it's much more serious than 3%, and I would significantly guess that it's significantly more than 10%. And if it's 25%, I don't know. I mean, 25% is still completely game breaking. So now, then the other question was, are we talking about all players in Title Tuesday? Are we talking about all grandmasters? Are we talking about only the players that I specifically might play against, which might be a 2650 average? What are we talking about? Now, I kind of meant all players because I get this feeling that in the first round, I play someone who almost always outplayed me with almost no fail. Like, I just get outplayed. And they could be 2200 players. They could be 2300. It can happen that a 22 or 2300 player outplays me. But that it happens all the time is very unlikely, I would argue. And if it's not unlikely, then I think that my FIDE Blitz rating is kind of ridiculous. Like, you can't be 2800 and always get bad positions against 2200s. Wouldn't work, right? So now that's why I think that the kind of guys I play at the start, they might cheat, for like a few moves here and there, and that makes them capable to outplay me. And then maybe they scrape a draw, maybe they lose. Maybe they, like, I've seen Title Tuesdays where I lose the first game to a 2200 and then the guy just leaves. And not that he's banned, because I check later, like, he's still playing a week later, but he just leaves the tournament.
Yeah.
So what kind of player is that? You have the game of your life, you beat someone 600 points higher than you, and you decide that's enough for today. Okay, it can happen. But this is like, this weird stuff just doesn't happen over the board. And then when I play later on, I play some guys who I also, let's say they're grandmasters. I'm also a little bit suspicious of them. I've played people who have retired for the last 20 years. Like, I've checked, they haven't played a single over-the-board game in 20 years. They beat, like, one guy beat me 4 out of the last 5 games. He hasn't played a single over-the-board game in over 15 years. At his peak, he was hundreds of points lower rated than me. Now, can he beat me 4 out of 5 times? Yeah, of course, anything can happen. What are the odds that it happens? The player still plays. He's not banned, I know. Like, it's just so many players like this. I mean, I can just rattle off examples from my own games. Yeah. If you ask any other player, they can also rattle off examples from their own games. This guy is weird. This guy always beats me. So on and so forth. Is this scientific? No, of course not. But definitely you can see why it would paint a picture for me personally.
Yeah. No, and I can give you a recent example from a collegiate event in which one of my players, who's a grandmaster, made a draw against the 1500, and then the 1500 lost every single game afterwards before just leaving the tournament. And he was just simply not bad. Like, they did tell me that if the Fair Play team reviews it and has enough proof to do something about it, that he will get refunded during the event, the full point. And in the end, they didn't have enough proof to ban the guy and to give him the full point. But I mean,
I'll just give you
What
some context because
1500 draws in like perfect manner against the GM and then loses every single game against 2000s. I mean, it just simply doesn't happen.
I'll give you some context because I don't have much experience playing against, let's say, a 1500 rated player, but I do have some. Like I have given a few lessons over the course of my career. I coached two guys. I would estimate they were around 14 to 1500.
Mm-hmm.
I play against queen odds with them without my queen against them, and I will consistently beat them. And I think that will be the same for. I don't even think this is like 26 or 2800 or whatever. It's like any grandmaster will probably be able to achieve something like this. The difference is so massive. It's like you might think, oh yeah, 1500, 2500, maybe there's a 1 in 100. It's not like that. It's one in thousands of games that this player might take off like a half point.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen. The difference in skill is too big. 2500, 2800, like as the ratings increase, the skill gap decreases. Just like if you have between, let's say, 1500 and a 500, the 1500 will win a million out of a million games because the 500 will just blunder all their pieces.
Yeah.
So the skill gap is much more massive the lower you go because the fundamentals are the most important thing. Don't blunder pieces, don't blunder checkmate in a few moves, this sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's basically like number one in tennis plays against number 100. Obviously, number 100 can occasionally win. Number one player or like number 100 plays against an overweight dad that just woke up. He's going to kill him every single time, right? There's zero chances that the overweight dad is going to get any games out of the top 100 player. That's basically a 1500 playing against the grandmaster. It never happens.
So I'll just ask you a question. So who is this jiu-jitsu guy who is like the best in the world or one of the best in the world?
Right now considered Gordon Ryan, the guy that's...
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
He has white hair.
Yes.
Blonde hair.
Yes.
So I saw a video where he was wrestling the mountain.
Correct.
And I think that the weight difference is probably 200 to 220 pounds difference.
No way. No, the mountain's like what, 350
pounds, no?
Yeah, but the guy is like 225 at least, 230, Gordon Ryan.
So, okay, so if he's like 400 pounds or over 400, like what does the mountain weigh?
Between 150 and 200 pounds difference, yes.
Something like that. Okay, yes. It's basically a full person. Either a medium-sized to a large.
Either a Fabi or a Christian, yes. Difference.
Yeah, something like that. So basically you would think the physical difference is too big for there to be a contest when they're grappling on the ground, right?
Yeah.
And the guy was just like submitting the mountain.
Yeah.
Wait, was it the mountain or was it that other strong man?
No. It was definitely the mountain. I think he did it with other strong men also.
Yeah, maybe he also like when you have an untrained person versus a trained person, the skill difference is too massive. Now, if you gave the mountain proper training, eventually, I mean, of course, there's no chance, right? But even these like massive differences, just it's not a perfect correlation between that and like it's not a perfect analogy between that and chess, of course, but a 500 rated player is completely untrained. A 1500 is very minimally trained. A 2500 is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. So to have someone who doesn't take chess seriously versus one of the best players in the world and they just compete on equal terms is unthinkable. It would be like one in several thousand chance that it happens even one time. And a chess game is a long process. It's not like you play one good move. I mean, you have to play like 40, 50 good moves, right?
Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, that's the way it happened. And actually, because of that half a point, we shared first as a team instead of winning it outright. This was national championship. So it does happen at the highest levels and at the levels with the highest stakes as well, because it's just very difficult to prove 100% that somebody has cheated. And until they solve that issue, it's just going to be persistent. But okay.
Let's discuss Kramnik's theory.
Okay. Yes.
His theory is that there are certain players who, okay, I kind of have like on Reddit, someone posted more or less
You have the table right in front of you.
a summary. So Kramnik's goal is to check if good players who play and win prizes regularly have higher performance in round 11 when they have a chance to get a prize compared to previous rounds. Data, 18 players, each having played around 40 tournaments in the past year.
Mm-hmm.
Average performance of every player in every round of the 7 to 10 rounds versus the 11 round, their performance in round 11 versus previous rounds, 7 to 10. And in round 11, they have a chance to get a prize. So,
Or they don't.
So there's a lot of different numbers, but various players, I believe it was 12 out of 18 players, 12 cases with where the players were performing 200 points higher in round 11 compared to round 7 to 10. 6 players, I guess, who did not perform better.
I only see
And
3 of them in the table.
Kramnik's explanation is that it's cheating, right? He's saying it's impossible for this to happen and it's cheating. And so there are 2 players with negative difference who play worse in round 11 compared to round 7 to 10. Himself, he uses himself, and Faruja.
Mm-hmm.
Other 16 names will at some point be revealed. This is still, we don't have names.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We don't have the names. Okay, that's good.
We just have player 1. Player 1, round 7 to 10 performance, 3,079. Round 11 performance when there's a chance of a prize, 3,275. 11th round when there's no chance of a prize, 3,001. Player 2, 7 to 10, 3,031. 11th when you have a chance of a prize, 3,224. 11th when he doesn't have a chance of a prize, or she. We don't know who the player is, so we don't assume who, what sex they are. 2962. Player 3, same, 200 points higher. Yeah, so I'm looking at the numbers. Almost all have a higher performance. Okay, again, we can't say what this means. There are 3 players who have a negative performance. Players 16, 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, how many players is this? This is 18 players, yeah?
Yes.
So there are.
This is in Title. We're talking Title Tuesday, by the way.
Title Tuesday only.
These numbers are from Title Tuesday.
For example, there's 1 player who has a difference of 12 points.
Yes.
Between round 7 11 and round 7 and 10 and rounds 11. 12 points is, of course, nothing. 32 points, 1 player, also not too shocking. 3 players, minus 104, minus 108, minus 143. And the top player, difference of 196 points. Second, difference of 193. Third, difference of 186. I don't know what this all means, but it is a possibility that players cheat in critical games. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah. And again,
I think it's very important that Kramnik is doing this because really nobody wants to start this discussion. You get mocked for it. You get branded as a sore loser or, washed up old man who's shouting at the windmills or fighting windmills, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But okay, he obviously cares about it, so I think he's doing important work.
Yeah, absolutely, and I tend to agree with that. And Levon tends to agree with that as well. Let me see if I can find his exact tweet. I watched Kramnik's latest video on the subject of online cheating, Title Tuesday tournaments, and I think the method to determine foul play is solid. It actually reminded me of a segment I've read in a book titled Freakonomics about sumo. Easy money tempts way too many people. Yeah, it's all about the easy money that tempts too many people. That's a very good point he makes. The incentive is there. The way to get that incentive, that prize, is quite easy. And for a lot of these players is very significant. Maybe life-changing money at times. So that's, yeah, it's going to be very difficult to argue against that, especially if you're coming from, I don't know, Eastern Europe or something like that. If you manage to pull together $10,000, $20,000 out of per year out of cheating in Title Tuesdays, which is not easy. You have to win a lot of Title Tuesdays. But let's say $5,000, $7,000, that's quite significant. A lot of people in Eastern Europe make $1,000 per month and they are able to survive. So the incentives are definitely there.
Yeah, the incentive is there. The incentive might not just be money for sure. I think for some people, the incentive is just feeling good. You beat someone. It's, win. I've played other games besides chess, like not very meaningful games, but there is in every game a lot of competitiveness. People just want to win. There's nothing riding on it. And very often people do cheat in other games as well. Anyone who has played a game will know that there's always someone who's trying to find a workaround or some way to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And why would chess be special? It doesn't make sense. So people, when you ask, why would you cheat? There's no money involved. First of all, sometimes there is, but even besides that, just the desire to win, or even the desire not to lose, the pain that comes with losing, is probably enough incentive for people to do stuff that's unfair. Now, will they do it all the time? Probably not. Usually, if they do it all the time, they get banned, or almost always. Will they do it in a critical game? Maybe. But also, will they do it just because they don't want to lose at that particular moment? Their emotions are just like, I've lost 2 games in a row. I hate losing. This guy's beating me. Let's just, turn it on for a second. And I'm pretty sure that in a Blitz game, if you feel like you're losing and then you turn the engine on for like 2-3 moves, you start to win like instantly. I mean, the mistakes are so severe that you don't really need much time. You just need to like turn it on for 2 moves in a random game, and then you just start to win. And I say that because look at any of the games I just played in the St. Louis event. Against Ferrugia, for example, I'm losing. It's a draw. I'm winning within the space of like 2 moves. And we are actually pretty good at calculating chess. And that's what the mistakes that we make. And that was without time trouble. Once you get into time trouble, literally every move is a blunder. Mm-hmm. It's kind of shocking. Like people just can't play with no time. I mean, sometimes it happens. There are occasions when Hikaru or Magnus, they play very well with no time. But usually you have blunder after blunder after blunder. Even the most mild case of cheating would turn a strong player into a great player, would turn an average player into a good player, and so on. It's not, this is not shocking stuff. This is just like, if you play chess, you kind of know this. If you've worked at engines, you know this.
Yeah. And I think that was our Reddit rant for today. We're somewhat siding with the sometimes technically dubious ways in which Vladimir makes his assessments, but we do believe there's some strength to it as well. So I think it's...
Okay, I have to say, the people on Reddit, they did see the value, at least many of them.
Some of them did, yes. Yes, he's starting to receive some praise. At the beginning, it was, as you mentioned, just old men screaming at technology. But right now, they're starting to kind of see the light.
Yeah. I think that it's kind of undeniable that something is wrong. I mean, the extent, 50%, 20%, as Denny says, 3%, I would say that's definitely on the low end. Something's wrong. To be honest, even 3% is pretty serious. But I feel like that would be the absolute best scenario. That is 3%. That would be so unlikely in my view. Now, I have nothing against chess.com. In fact, I like chess.com a lot, and that's why I kind of want there to be no cheating, because I want to play in events on chess.com without worrying that there's a cheating problem. Yeah, I would really like to see online chess. I think it's great. People can play chess from all around the world with anyone they want. I just think that it needs to be clean. Otherwise, it's worse. It's more harm than good. And I think chess.com does a great job in general of trying to get ahead of it. it's like I've told Danny many times, I don't envy his position. Like I don't want to be in the position of trying to stop this because I know how difficult it is. But he is kind of the one who's in that position, right? He's the one of, I guess, many people who are trying to combat this problem. So I think the first step is definitely to acknowledge that the problem is pretty serious, and then what we have to do, that part I don't know, but I think there are ways around it. To start with, I think very serious deterrence, lifelong bans are a good way to start. A lifelong ban for one cheating incident is not extreme from the website, not from like, we're not asking to imprison people, but from the website, I don't think that that's too extreme. And then maybe in like 2 years we can review the case or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that, and maybe some other things. Also maybe AI might improve at some point. That AI can detect more readily if something's going wrong in a game.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think a good first step is also to just not diminish the merits of this train of thought and these worries, and not diminish it and call it undeserved paranoia, and all the top players are paranoid, things of that nature. And I've seen that by some people with some influence in the chess world as well. So obviously this is not something to joke about. Well, it is to joke about, but it has to be addressed. It's an ongoing process. And I think we're all working towards the same goal, which is to make chess more enjoyable and clean. It's very important to keep chess clean. And it's not going to be an easy task, for sure.
Yeah, definitely not.
Cool. And you did mention jiu-jitsu. We will leave this podcast with my experience at the jiu-jitsu tournament. That was yesterday. It was good. I made weight, so I somewhat managed to starve myself. And I did not actually starve myself at all, but I ate twice, cut carbs, sugar, and alcohol, slept very well, focused on my sleeping. And that got me to 176 on the dot on competition day, which was the required weight. So I managed to make weight. That was my first and only victory in the tournament. The jiu-jitsu didn't go very well. I'm happy with the way I performed. I'm not happy with the results. I lost one game by ref's decision. So the points were equal, ref's decision in one of them, and a couple of them I got submitted from better positions. So I had better positions. That's what kind of pisses me off. I was on top. I was scoring well, and I allowed myself to get submitted. But it was fun. It was good, and I think I'm gonna do it again. So that's about it.
Yeah, I actually like watching it. It's fun to watch. I don't think I'd ever do it.
Really, it's fun to watch. That's interesting. Because
I like watching it. I don't really understand very much. I'm not an expert, but I like watching it.
That's my problem. I feel like it's almost like chess. If you don't have at least an understanding of what you have to do, it looks very foreign. It looks very alien. But yeah.
But what I like is that when I see, like, I sometimes watch videos where it's like a pro explaining things to someone who's not very practiced, and then you see how good they are. It's remarkable.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see it when it's maybe two guys who are equal strength, right? But when you see someone who doesn't know what they're doing versus someone who knows what they're doing, it's just like the difference, the skill difference. Yeah. So that makes me appreciate. I felt like whenever I know a bit more about the sport, it makes me appreciate, like, for example, tennis. Once I started to play and I realized how difficult, I mean, of course I understood how difficult it was, but just realized how everything is so difficult. Yeah. It makes you appreciate even like the basic things more. But then when they actually do the superhuman stuff, you're like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like magic. But yeah, that's the reason I would never do it is because I really don't want someone's hands like smothering me and choking me out, and it doesn't seem too pleasant.
It's not fun. No. It's not pleasant. There's a lot of pressure for sure. But yeah, good challenge. Had a lot of fun. I'm gonna do it again. And maybe one day we'll get you into a class. Maybe we'll get you into a class. One lesson, like the mountain. Maybe we'll meet with Gordon Ryan, and
Okay, but the mountain is actually like
he's gonna give you.
he's a natural, right,
lesson.
at any sport. I mean, I'm not, so maybe we'll see.
Anyway, good luck tomorrow, Fabi. I think this one is going to come before our second part of the Sinquefield Cup video, so keep an eye out for that. That one is going to come out shortly. If you've enjoyed the first 3 games, you're definitely going to enjoy the last 4. So that was a lot of fun to record as well. Don't forget, we do have a running promotion for that one. I don't even think you know that we have a running promotion for that one, but there it is. The best comment out of those 2 videos on YouTube. This is a YouTube exclusive. It's not going to be on any podcast platforms because it just has too much analysis. The best comment is going to win a signed copy of this book. It's called the Sinquefield Cup book. It's a cool book. Big.
What a imaginative title. Wow.
Yeah, it's the Sinquefield Cup book celebrating 5 years. This is a book released in 2017. Between 2013 and 2017, it includes obviously the 2014 edition that we are covering. So I think it's a very, very good gift for any chess lover, whether you get it right now before the holidays or later on. This is going to be signed by the both of us, and I think it's going to be a cool gift. So don't forget to leave your comments in those 2 videos. The best comment will win it. All right, that's about it, Fabi. Go enjoy your final rest day before the beginning of the Sinquefield Cup. I still think you have a couple of things to do today, but we will let you go.
Late.
You are late. Let's go. All right, I'll let you go. We'll see you tomorrow at the Sinquefield Cup.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All
Bye.
right.
Cheers, guys.